MAT 131 Course Tour. In this video, I will talk about the following important topics: course information, MyStatLab, StatCrunch, the weekly folders, as well as some hints on how to be successful in this course. Let's begin with course information. Here we are in the course. The opening location is Course Announcements. This is the first place you will see all the important course information, like future assignments, reminders of due dates, and other important information. You will have at least 3 announcements each week, and it's important that you carefully read each announcement. Next, click Start Here to locate important course documents like the syllabus and information involving the textbook, as well as other important information. Let's take a look at the syllabus. Many documents in this course are embedded in Blackboard, where you can view the document directly inside of Blackboard without downloading the document. If you need an electronic copy of the document, you can always click on the file link. Another important document, and this would be a good idea to print out, would be the list of all assignments and assessments with the corresponding due dates. This would be a good idea to actually print this document out, and each week you can sort of check off each assignment for that week. And this will ensure that you are completing all the activities for that given week. Next, if we go to Student Resources, the very first folder is the Math Tutoring and the Math Center. In this folder, the first item you will see is a Google Calendar that lists all the tutoring Zoom sessions that are available. So you pick a time that is good for you, and then you click on the Zoom link to join the session. MyStatLab. MyStatLab gives you access to the online textbook, to the online homework assignments worth 10% of your grade, as well as to the program StatCrunch. In order to use MyStatLab, you must first register. Go to Start Here, and then scroll to Textbook Information, and you will see clear directions on how to register for MyStatLab. The process is very quick, and once you have registered for MyStatLab, you will have access to the online textbook. So click on eTextbook, and then click on this link to access the online textbook. StatCrunch, the statistical software that we will use in this course. Once you have registered for MyStatLab, you now can access StatCrunch. You can use StatCrunch on all quizzes and the 3 tests. To access StatCrunch, click on the StatCrunch information, then click on StatCrunch Access, click Open StatCrunch, and finally click on StatCrunch website. To use StatCrunch, you can click on Open StatCrunch, and here is access to the program. It is again a good idea to have StatCrunch open before you work on any homework assignments or before you start any of the quizzes or tests delivered on Blackboard. Weekly folders. The course material is chunked into weekly folders. Clicking on the weekly folders link, you will have access to each weekly folder. The first folder is the Getting Started. Clicking on the folder opens up important starting information like MyStatLab registration, as well as a link to the syllabus, the list of all assignments and assessments, what you need for the course, the Blackboard skills, a browser check for MyStatLab if you're having problems with your browser, as well as some optional videos about hints for online learning and tips for taking an online course, as well as time management. Going to week 1 weekly folder, you will have access to everything that you need to complete for that given week. Each weekly folder begins with an overview. This spells out what you will do for this week. There's a list of the course learning outcomes that you will learn for a given week. The preparatory assignment. This is the assignment that you complete when you watch the videos. So you print that out and then you go to the instructional content folder, which will house all the required videos that you need to watch to complete the preparatory assignment. You will also see links to the online homework, as well as any quizzes and links to the discussion board. And at the very end, you'll also see a few little cartoons involving the course material for that week. Now let's look in the instructional content folder to find the required viewing videos to complete the preparatory assignment. So click instructional content, and here we have a list of the textbook sections for this week. If we click section 1.1, here we see the lesson objectives for that section. Here are the required videos to complete the preparatory assignment. Let's click this. The videos are embedded in Blackboard, so you can watch them directly in Blackboard. And once you watch all the videos in this folder, there is a self-assessment activity called Check Your Understanding, where you answer a series of questions, and when you are finished, you can click Submit and it will grade it for you. Now, if you missed a problem or multiple problems, it would be a good idea to re-watch the videos. And if you need more help, you can go back to section 1.1 and look at the supplementary videos. These are optional viewing, but if you need additional examples, here is where you can watch more videos about this certain topic. When you're finished watching the videos and you feel that you're ready to attempt the homework, you click the next folder, and this has a link to the online homework as well as the recommended textbook problems that are optional. So if you need more help, you can work the homework problems from MyStatLab, but you can also work the recommended textbook problems and then check your answers using the student solution manual that has all the problems for the odd numbers worked out. Keys to success. The first one, pay your dues. Do your homework. This is how you will learn much of the course material, by practicing. So it's very, very important that you do every single homework assignment. Next, be an active learner. As you watch the videos and you work on the preparatory assignment, write down notes. Write down your questions that you may have about the material. Next, find time to work on the course material every single day. I know this can be very difficult to do, especially if you work at a job, but this will be less stressful if you can find some time to work on the course material each day. Now, overall, you should be putting in about 10 hours a week on the course material. If you find a concept that is difficult to understand, try to work additional problems. Now, this will include the recommended textbook problems, and if you miss problems on a MyStatLab homework assignment, you can always go back at a different point in time and review those missed problems. And this is especially helpful when you study for tests. You want to go back and revisit the problems that you may have missed and try to learn from those mistakes. And this is one of the most important things that you can do to be successful in the course, is ask for help when needed. So please contact me with your questions, and you can see me during my office hours. We can set up a Zoom help session. Visit me in the Success Center during my hours, or you can send me an email, or you can post on a discussion board. Just let me know when you need help. Thanks for watching.